So I've got a question for you.
Okay, lay it on me.
What do we get more of before Christmas this year? Tyson Berry trade rumors or
Days of the week where Pred's Twitter screams at Pred's front office to do something and tear it down and start again. That's the other one you were going to say, right? Right? That's definitely the right answer.
Preds lose 4-3 to the New York Rangers Saturday inside Bridgestone Arena. Now, I'm not going to fly off on a handle here and go rage-a-thon about this team. They know what they did wrong about this game. They have shown, especially in this effort, because it was a lot better than that crap from Thursday against Minnesota, that they can learn from it. That's the thing we can always expect from this team after bad losses, that they will give a much better effort in the following game. What I might have to do here soon is go off the handle on a segment, not the majority, not nearly the majority, but a good segment of Fred's Twitter that needs to calm the F down with their expectations. This team is in a rebuild. We can't get ticked off and still blame the former general manager who's not there anymore. I know a few of you who like to do that quite often on Twitter when this team loses. We've given that man plenty of thanks. But anyways, focusing on this year, we can't just tear it down when they have a loss that they had a lead in. This is going to happen to a team that's in a rebuild. It's how you learn from it. You get the maturity, because every team that finally wins a title has to go through the valleys before they can climb the mountain. As for the game, it's the first Preds back-to-back of the season, taking 23 games to get there. It's only the second longest in Preds franchise history, the first being 25 games in the 2019-2020 season, the first season of Preds fan reaction videos. If you missed the news, Alexander Carrier was put on long-term injured reserve, so he's going to be out a while. And of course, NHL Department of Player Safety did nothing, leaving them open to potential retribution on January 25th, 2024, when these two teams play each other. NHL, don't say you weren't warned. As for his replacement, Spencer Stastny was recalled from Milwaukee, who has been playing well down there. Oh, and on a positive front, Milwaukee won without him, but Stastny should be able to stay with the big club for a while now. And in other news, Tyson Berry, because of his lack of playing time, and he has made some mistakes, let's be honest here. You can go through my previous Preds fan reaction videos of this season to see that he's not fitting in right now. And Andrew Burnett has said that he expects more from Tyson Berry for the player that he is. So the Preds have given his agent permission to seek a trade with other teams. So he was held out, and we'll see how much he's held out, because obviously you don't want to risk injuring him and then potentially hurting yourself with a trade commodity. And yes, we're not even still going to get into Luke Schenn right now. Luke Schenn is signed for 3 years. If we trade Luke Schenn, it's going to be for bare bottom dollar. At least with Tyson Berry right now, he's a free agent in the upcoming offseason. He's something that you could get something for by the trade deadline as a rental piece. So I think the Preds could get something decent as long as he doesn't get hurt. So we'll see what develops further on down the line. As for the first period, one of the best opening periods I have seen the Preds play all season, much less even in their 6-game win streak. They got out to a 2-0 lead. One of those 2 goals was scored on the power play, and they outshot the Rangers 18-8 in the first period. They really went to work, despite the fact that Bridgestone Arena for a Saturday, I guess because it was SEC Championship weekend, was pretty much majority Rangers fans who were on a nice trip down to Nashville. If the Preds were doing a little better and this fan base was a little bit more reasonable with their expectations, maybe Preds fans wouldn't have sold all their tickets and they would have been able to drown out the Rangers chants I was able to hear all game long. Now remember, Preds Nation, coming into this game, this is a Rangers team that is near the top of the league. Well, now after they've beaten the Preds, they are at the top of the league, and they only have 4 regulation losses all season. One of those 4 maybe a fluke, but it was just hard work was by the Preds earlier this season in Madison Square Garden. So you knew after they went down 2-0 after 1 that this Rangers team was going to come out feisty. And only 30 seconds into the second period, that is exactly the energy they show as Trouba is able to cut into the Preds lead, making it 2-1. Then almost 7 minutes into the second period, Schenn is a little late getting off for a line change, and Josi is on too quick because Schenn didn't get off fast enough, resulting in a too many men on the ice penalty. But fortunately, about 30 seconds later, oh, look at that. Colton Sissons on a partial breakaway, and he scores, restoring the Preds' 2-goal lead, now up 3-1. Rangers do not go away because literally seconds after the too many men on the ice penalty has expired, the Rangers are attacking, and Chris Kreider cuts into the Preds' 2-goal lead again, this time making it 3-2. And then 19 seconds later, it's Vincent Trocheck who ties this game all up at 3. We're tied square away all again, and they only had 9 shots on goal. The Preds only had 9 shots on goal in the second period. 9 shots apiece, really, for these many goals? But when you make silly mistakes that led to those goals, this is what happens. You're right back at square again when you had an advantage over the league-leading Rangers. And then in the third period, Preds come off on the right foot. They're attacking. Josi and Ryan O'Reilly almost give the Preds right back the lead early in the third, but you can't beat Shesterkin. And eventually, with this Rangers team, coached by a former Preds coach, Peter Laviolette, they're going to get their chances, and eventually one of them will go through as just over 5 minutes into the third, Lindgren gets a goal through a screen past Lankinen, and now it's 4-3 Rangers. Not to mention the fact that, yeah, I wouldn't mind losing to the Rangers alone on talent, and overall we did, but the Rangers got some help from the officials who let some stuff go, including a Juuso Parssinen trip that he received. I know I got some texts from fellow Preds fans frustrated at how Parssinen played, but you can't blame him if he gets tripped and there's no call. Time is ticking away. We're under 10 minutes now. Laviolette, what we were always used to as Preds fans, has the Rangers playing their 1-3-1 defensive system, so the Preds can't have quick breakouts to get the Rangers off guard. We're under 5 minutes. Then winding down to 2 minutes when Coach Andrew Burnett pulls Lankinen for the extra man as 30 seconds, and then another 30 seconds. The Preds have some good looks. They're attacking the Rangers well. I'll give them credit for that, even though they weren't able to eventually get a goal. They're getting pressure. The Rangers were under duress. Fortunately, the Preds didn't allow an empty netter, but they weren't able to get the tying goal. Unfortunately, in a game that they had a 2-goal lead, you can't be too upset about it against the leading Rangers after this one, who still only have 4 regulation losses all season. The final score in this one is Rangers 4, Preds 3. That was a hell of a hockey game. The Preds easily could have won it, but you can't be too upset about losing to that Rangers team. They're just really good this year. And I think that needs to hit home to some of you negative Nellies on Preds Twitter, where I'm more active than Preds Facebook. I hear things are negative on Preds Facebook as well. So I'm glad I'm not diving into that pool. Nothing to be ashamed of losing to this Rangers team when your team that is supposed to be rebuilding. Last time I checked, minus the Oilers loss, and I think just the Wild loss the other day, this team is competitive and is in most games they play this year. That tells me the rebuild is closer to getting on the right track to be a competitor than it is for all those draft lottery teams below us in the standings. Definite bright spots in this game to summarize: having the 2-0 lead in the first, being able to score on the power play, and being able to also score on a penalty kill. Things that should be able to translate when you become a competitive team once again. Things that need to be worked on, though, even for a team that is rebuilding. You cannot be 42% on the face-off dot. And, you know, Mr. Humble Ryan O'Reilly, to his credit, took the majority of the blame from what I heard in post-game comments, and he went 10 out of 21. That's not bad. But he's not the reason that overall we were 42% in the faceoff dot in this game. That has got to be better, because when you win faceoffs, then you can control play whether or not you're in the defensive zone and you're getting quickly out to go and attack, or if you win a faceoff in the offensive zone and you keep the pressure on a team in that zone. Oh, and can I ask something of Preds Nation next year? Most seasons when the Rangers come to town, I don't really hear this as an issue, because maybe the Preds are good, so I've never noticed. But obviously the Preds aren't as good this year, so they sold off more of the tickets on the secondary market. Next year, could you try to keep the majority of tickets for the Rangers Preds game next year inside Bridgestone Arena among the fan base? I didn't like hearing "Let's go Rangers" through the Bally Sports Preds feed. Hey, nothing against the Rangers. You're a good team and you guys travel well. I'm just talking that I want Bridgestone Arena to be a scary, intimidating place to play. And that doesn't help if we allow the road traveling fans to take over the building. As for games coming up, as I had mentioned, this is a back-to-back. The Preds are going into Buffalo for the first of a 2-game road trip. Chicago on Tuesday, before coming right home for a quick 1-game stop before going up to Northeast Canada. 5 games in 8 days is definitely a test I think this team needs, and road bonding with 4 of those 5 games being on the road. Let's see what they've got. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media as always by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption. These close losses, Preds Nation, are learning blocks. The roster knows this, and the front office knows this. It's about freaking time that members of the fan base climb down off of these guys' backs expecting more.